Hi there, Dr. Vicki Lemfer here at the Shift Happens channel. Today, we are going to talk about the one key component that so many of my clients and so many people that I coach often overlook. It's that little piece that everybody doesn't even think about. They have a desire, they go to the end result, and then it's that little piece that keeps them from actually getting the manifestation. All right, we're going to talk about that, but before we do, like, subscribe, and comment. I learn from you just as much as you learn from me. I just so enjoy helping you out. If you enjoy manifesting, but we dig deeper, even beyond just that affirming, we go dig deeper and actually have lasting results, right? Okay, so let's have some fun and dig into it. What is that key component that everyone tends to overlook? Well, we have a desire and we get super excited about it. And we're like, oh boy, okay, I'm gonna go to the end result. I'm gonna wish fulfill, right? I see it, I visualize it, I feel it. But then all of a sudden something holds us back. Why do we have a desire? Well, we want an improved situation, right? We have a desire. We want something even better and expand, which is perfect. It's a normal, natural thing. Desire comes from God. We're not questioning that. But what we're doing is we often don't allow it to come in. We're not in the receiving mode. What is that? When you're in the receiving mode, you are open and at peace. How do you find peace? Well, let's take an example. It could be any subject, but let's say you're in a workplace and you just don't feel valued. You're tired of it and you want to move on to another job. Well, you can absolutely do that. But if you don't find peace with what you were struggling with, those things will follow you. So you might jump from job to job, and when you jump to that next job, you might feel, the honeymoon period. Oh God, this is great. This is exactly what I want. But then all of a sudden those same issues start to resurface because you haven't found peace with it. It's no different than with an SP. Let's say you're in a relationship and you're like, you see something better. You're like, I'm kind of over this. Let's jump to this next one. Well, those same issues that were kind of holding you back over here will start to resurface. Of course, with any new relationship, whether it's job, money, SP, you always have that honeymoon period. But after that honeymoon period, all of a sudden, that real stuff starts to surface. So what do? You can absolutely go to a different job. You can absolutely find another SP. That is not what we're saying. But what we are saying is find the things and investigate the things that are frustrating you and find peace with it. So again, I always talk about this. You acknowledge it. You're aware of your feelings. You acknowledge that emotion, the specific emotion that you're after, and then you kind of dig a little deeper. Why am I feeling this? What's going on? Why am I identifying with this? And you keep kind of digging deep, deep, deep. Don't linger too long in that past. Find it and say, you know what? I'm at peace with this situation. I'm going to change the storyline. So that's what Neville Goddard was talking about as far as like going back and revising. All you're doing is, because you can revise, because first of all, thinking back to the past is a memory, right? And so it's an imaginal act. Second thing is, there are infinite possibilities with every single story. You're not changing the experience, you're changing the story. You're choosing a different story. And then you can find peace with it, and you can find peace with the people that were involved with it. Right, whatever story that makes it feel better for you, that's how you find peace, and then you just let it go, okay? And then once you find that peace, then you can move on. Now you can still, let's say you just jumped, had that job, and you're like, I got to get into a better situation. You jump into it, and everything's going along fine, and then you didn't find peace. You can always, it's never too late to find peace, right? But I know for myself, all of those issues kept coming up until I was ready to really dig deep and brace myself and really look into myself. Because again, we are we create our own reality. And if we just kind of, I always say, feel the negative emotions, feel it, live it, not live it, but let them pass through, acknowledge them, accept them. Because when you start allowing and accepting and acknowledging, and you're aware of those feelings, then you're able to create space to receive. And it creates that neutral state of where I'm like, okay, I'm okay either way, right? Let's say I'm staying in that toxic relationship with your career, with your job, which I did do. And I was like, you know what? I actually love my job. I was having trouble with people around me. Really, when it came down to it, I was having trouble with myself, right? We are the sole creator of our reality. And I had to dig deep. I mean, I found emotions that were hidden. I kept thinking, that what we call now toxic positivity, like I'm just going to ignore it. I'm just going to keep going. And it just kept festering and getting worse and worse and worse, right? And then I acknowledged it. I was aware of those negative feelings. I acknowledged it. And then I accepted it. And then I found appreciation for all the people involved because they were part of the story. I created that story. They pointed me in. Anytime you encounter any challenging situation, they are pointing, those situations, those people are pointing you to see yourself as that whole, complete, perfect person. They're forcing you to go, I want better. And actually, when you get into that angry moment, that's even better because you're like, I'm demanding better. I demand respect. I have to change the story. I am no longer going to accept this reality. I'm going to change it. And you get determined. And that's actually where, Neville, Goddard, all kinds of people would always say, okay, once you have that desire, you don't even have a doubt. That's exactly what I want. Anger gets you there, which is really kind of cool. I mean, so negative emotions are not bad. Don't be afraid of them. They are helping you. I mean, that they are part of the process. We don't say path of no resistance. We say path of least resistance because when you're in the habit of being aware of your emotions and you accept those negative emotions and then you acknowledge the person that you truly are, and then you're able to allow that perfect relationship or that perfect job to come in, and you're able to receive. You got to create that space for that desire to come in. And when you're hanging on to all these negative stories and negative emotions, it doesn't create space. You're creating a careful, let it go, acknowledge and let it go and accept it. Once you accept it, you just allow the good stuff to come in. And it takes courage. It does. It takes time to sit down and really dig deep. That's why I just love to coach people that have a base understanding of law of assumption, but you want to dig deeper. We coach you to the point where it's like, okay, you have to get real. And sometimes real as in, I'm going to face those demons that I have inside of me, because that's how you let it go and allow, right? And so we dig a little deeper because you can affirm yourself and get yourself into, pieces of that manifestation. But if you want long-lasting manifestation of your desires, you have to dig deep and really develop that self-concept. So there's several levels of manifesting. And this particular one that I'm talking about is when you are really at the third level, where you're just really, you have a great understanding, but then all of a sudden you realize, wait, I gotta find peace before I move on. And maybe you find peace and you decide not to move on. That's what happened to me. I decided I wanted to stay, but I wanted to stay and have peace within myself. So I had to find peace with myself and peace with the other people that I involved in the story. And let me tell you, I have pure freedom, and that's exactly what we're after, right? Manifesting, we're after freedom, the freedom to be ourselves, freedom to choose what we want in life and desire in life, and you can absolutely have it. But you have to find that peace, find that neutral state where you're okay whether or not you get your desire, and that provides that space for that desire to come in. And boy, is it fun and juicy. So let me know how it works for you. share, like, comment, subscribe. And if you need some life coaching, I always love to help run a mindset life coach for you. And so easy for me to say. Go ahead and contact me at shifthappenslifecoaching@gmail.com. Okay, subscribe, like, comment. Let's build this community. I love helping you out. All right, till next time. Take care. Bye-bye.